So we're at about mile 451. Right up there is Highway 14. Fixing to cross under in this tunnel here. So, nice day. Got a couple of fast guys coming up. Looks like they're gonna just hang out a bit, but just walking through the tunnel. About a little more than 5 miles from Aqueduct. Mostly gonna just burn through that town. I might pick up some Slim Jims or something to nibble on, but I loaded up with food at the LA RV resort, and so I got enough to carry me for I think 5 days or more, so doing pretty good. So just past the tunnel is Vasquez Rocks, which has been filmed in countless old westerns, and there's a actual tour that people can follow that traces exact shots of where John Wayne, shot so and so in whatever movie, and so this is part of that legacy. Kind of cool bunch of rocks. So this is the most famous of the Vasquez Rocks commercials, movies, all sorts of things have been filmed here. It's kind of cool. And then there's days like this, climbing at Aqueduct. You got this.
We did.
Oh man.
Indeed.
So I'm just past the campsite. We stayed last night. We were crowded on top of each other. There was about 6 tents in an area that's usually for just 3 tents. But woke up this morning to bright blue skies, nice temperature. So yesterday was pretty misty, foggy as soon as you got up in the in elevation. But looks like it's going to be a clearer, warmer day today, and we'll keep it going. All right, we got another milestone here. 500 miles. So I started this a month ago today. So at the end of today, I'll have 31 miles on the, or days on the trail. By now, legs are feeling great, and I've got a tempo that I can keep, which is a little over 20 miles a day most days. So feeling pretty good. Tomorrow is going to be a section nobody looks forward to. More of that to come, but this has been for me an awesome experience. I got to give a lot of thanks to Patty, my dedicated trail angel, for sending me packages, meeting up with me, keeping me apprised of what's going on. So I think for the next, I don't know, mile or so, there will be multiple 500-mile markers coming up. So 200 miles away from the Southern Sierra, and a new part of the adventure begins there. at the top of about mile 505-ish, something like that. Kind of overlooking looks like a bunch of solar arrays over there. We got some fellow PCT dirt baggers over there enjoying the shade. We've been hiking together off and on for a few days. We loaded up with water, nice cool water, and it was after a 1,000-foot climb, so we're headed out that way, and for about another 6 miles where we'll get a campsite. So pretty good day so far. All right, so today's going to be unseasonably warm. Some people are calling it a heat wave. And the area that I'm going to be covering, this is going into and then out of Lancaster. But the area to cover, you may be able to see once you get past the little rolling hills, is pretty desolate. Not a lot out there until you get over the mountains over there, but that's more than 25 miles away. And so what I'm going to end up doing is hiking one of the least favorite sections at night to beat the heat. So more on that later. All right, so let me introduce you to Hikertown. First off, we came down that way and met up here at Hikertown. Been here for, I don't know, 6-7 hours, something like that. So Hikertown is this funky place. All of these mostly one room kind of cabiny places you can rent for a night. It's kooky, kind of interesting, definitely eclectic. Got showers, kind of normal stuff like that. And got this little shade area, so everybody's hanging out at the shade area waiting for it to get dark, because it's going to be hot today and we're going to hike this aqueduct. So everybody's just kind of hanging around waiting for cool. So that's Hikertown. Wait, okay, so this is a video here, little video. These are the crazy people that are night hiking. This is lunatic. But we're all going to be doing it. It's nobody's looking forward to it, but we're all going to do it. So night hike, 22 miles is what we're shooting for. That's on top of the 9 that we did getting here this morning. So we'll see. All right, we're actually starting down the aqueduct at about 7:45-ish, something like that. And we're going to be walking. And up ahead, it turns into a sealed big metal that we'll be walking on top of this big metal tube. Alright, so this is the metal aqueduct we're going to be walking on for like 15, 16 miles, something like that. Just following the leader. Kind of funny. Alright, so got about 3.5 hours, that was a generous estimate, of sleep, where we stayed tonight. Had this in the background. We're in the middle of a wind farm. It's kind of cool looking. We stayed at a water source nearby. And we're heading up there. There's going to be, we're going to break the day up in two. We've got about 15 miles to go. We're going to hike for probably 2.5 hours to get to the next water supply that's about 6 miles up. We're going to stop in the middle of the heat of the day, and then we're going to finish out the rest of the about 15 miles, so about 8 miles or so, when it's cooler, probably after dark again. But it's going to be shorter, 8 miles. Anyway, nobody looks forward to this section. Got Joshua trees, wind farm, and walking.
Very cool.
Alright, so we just left the daytime rest site. Oh, and you can see the Tehachapi wind farm. We're hiking with about another 4 other people. I've been hiking with for the last 2 or 3 days, and we're gonna shoot for another 8 miles. It's a short day, but it was hot. I'm not feeling particularly good, a bit nauseous for some reason. Probably dehydration. But we'll hike into the night, and another 15 miles tomorrow is the goal. We just came up that. We're about 3.5 miles from our campsite. A little less than that for some water. But we're still going up. So we got a desert sunset over the wind farm, Tehachapi wind farm. Alright, you may not be able to see much here, but this is a Trail Magic water cache, and we have been availing ourselves of this cache of water at mile about 550. So it's a little after 9 o'clock. We're about a quarter of a mile from camp. So it'll be a relatively normal end time tonight. So I'm here in Tehachapi, taking a 0 day, doing a little bit of chores, and I wanted to give you a little insight into one of the chores that comes up not frequently enough, but you'll see why it's not frequently enough. Alright, so this is sink laundry. I think these have had about a week since I last laundered. I last laundered at Hikertown, which wasn't a full week, but you can see it's kind of dirty. Anyway, it's one of the chores that doesn't get done often enough, but as often as you can. So I'm just here zeroing in Tehachapi, and I'll probably zero. I'm going to zero again tomorrow. I haven't been feeling that great, but hopefully we'll get that under control and keep on going.